So I don't know if I'm making this video to be petty or because I never got the closure I needed or wanted. So I don't give a fuck what anyone says as why I'm doing this. But I feel like so much has happened that to me, so much has happened to me that I feel like, you know what, fuck it. The year's about to end. Why not leave this in 2019, start 2020 branding mindset, leave the fucked up shit behind, just start as fresh as I can. But at the same time, speak on what has went down. And as to people who don't know, I'll probably explain a little bit. And I'm gonna be posting some receipts, some pictures. I don't have a lot because I decided to delete messages after everything went down, but I do have some. So basically, I was with someone 4 years. It was, I can't even say it was cool because I don't really know if it was genuine. But I was with someone for 4 years. 2 years in, we have a break. We were living together at the time, and we just decided to have a break from each other, kind of. During that break, I went through a bad state of mind because I loved this person and I wanted things to work. And I guess I ignored all the red flags she was throwing at me during that break, that I was just more focused on get back together, and that's it. Now, during that break, we were in a place where it was more like roommates, like, hi, bye, how are you, how did work go, stuff like that. But we still clashed a lot. We still clashed on whether or not we were going to get back together, if you're seeing anybody, if I'm seeing anybody, stuff like that, and I can definitely say that I wanted this relationship to work out more than she did. And I'm totally okay with saying that because that's just what happened, and shit happens and things don't always go your way. But anyways, not the point. So we had a break. During that break, I didn't know what she was doing, to be honest. She didn't know what I was doing. That was it. I was very depressed, I honestly just lost myself in this relationship, kind of, and I lost myself within this person, and I regret that because seeing what I've gone through and seeing how much I came out of it has really, I really didn't deserve half the shit I went through, especially for someone like this. Anyways, during that break, towards the end, I gave her an ultimatum whether or not we were going to get back together or we were just going to go our separate ways, move out, you go your way, I'll go my way, it was a cool run, that's it. And I'm one to let things go when I know neither of us are happy, I'm not naive when it comes to that. I feel like if two people aren't happy together, why fucking be together? Life is way too short than to waste time on someone who doesn't make you happy and who you're not making happy. Simple. Go your fucking separate ways and leave it as that. So I was sick of it. I was sick of the on and off. Whether or not we were going to get back together. Yes, we're going to get back together. No, whatever. So I told her either we're going to get back together today or we're going to go our separate ways, because I need to know whether or not we're on the same page, or whether I need to start looking for another place to live, or what. You feel me? So she told me right off the bat that, yeah, she wanted things to work out and she was just going through a dark place and she needed to get her head together. She never told me that till the breakup, and if she would have told me that from the beginning, I would have backed the fuck up, gave her space. Maybe that was something I should have done from the beginning, because I was always on her whether or not we were going to get back together or not. She was going through stuff, I was going through stuff, and maybe we just shouldn't have been together. But we ended up getting back together after that month grace period. Less than a week after we get back together, we were showering and she decides to tell me something. She told me that she might be pregnant, and I told her, okay, how or what happened or whatever, and I told her, If you got knocked up by someone, that's cool. You do you. You do you with that person. I don't want to be a part of it. Um, that's just fucked up because why would you bring me along in this? I could, whatever. Word by word, she told me she got herself inseminated. That's cool. I know a bunch of people. Well, I've seen a bunch of people online or TV do that. For single mothers who don't want another partner to get pregnant. They just want to be a single mother. That's cool. Applaud you for it. Cool. And I told her, okay, show me the paperwork. Show me proof that you did that. Show me proof that you didn't go fuck someone and get pregnant. Because I wasn't in that. I was not about to put myself in that position. I don't care how much I loved her. Nope. Sorry. Bye. So she told me she got herself inseminated. Whatever. She showed me some paperwork. She told me that she borrowed money from someone, went to the sperm bank, got the sperm, got herself inseminated. And I told her, okay, so what are your plans? What do you plan to do? Oh, well, I don't know. I was for it, but now I'm not. I feel like I was in a dark place, and I feel like a baby could get me out of it, or I thought a baby could have got me out of it. Her exact response. And I was like, okay. One, a baby will never get you out of a dark place. If anything, you are going to drag that baby to your dark place with you. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much it changes you. In reality, no one, and I mean no one, can change what's really going on with you besides you. That's it. That's literally it. And then she tells me, I made a mistake. I'm going to get the baby aborted. That's it. And I was like, okay. Because in reality, it's her decision. And I was just like, okay. Then I tell her, why get an abortion? You already did this. You want a baby. We're together. We're in it for the long run. Why not us, be a family? Let's just take it day by day and let's just be a family together. So we did. We did that. After she had told me every appointment she went to, I went to, from the minute we saw the pregnancy test, which I will post it right here. It was either June or July that I had took her to go get the pregnancy test. We went. I took a picture of it. I have the date on it. And I'm going to be posting a lot of pictures to back me up on what I'm saying so that no one believes or no one thinks that I'm lying. So throughout the whole pregnancy, I was there. Emotionally, physically, mentally, everything. Me. I was there. I'm not even talking about the money. Fuck the money. Money comes and goes. Never gonna get it back. Not gonna dwell on it. It's just money. You lose some, you win some. Whatever. We started making baby names. I had finally came to tell my best friend, my family. She told her family. It wasn't good at first, but everybody came around. My family, her family, everybody was excited. It was super cool. And then so we had a few miscarriage scares. And then after that, everything was fine. The baby was healthy, So then comes the baby shower, and I'll be posting some pictures of that. The baby shower was cool. We did it. It's a boy story theme. My best friend, the majority of my side was there, and I want to say maybe a couple, I want to say less than 10 people of her side went, and then the majority was just mine. My coworkers, my friends, my family. It was cool, The baby shower, and then comes the birth. Now, so when the birth came, I had took her the night before because she was having some pain. She was, I believe, either 1 or 2, I forgot what it's called, but open. So they had kept us. So we had sent out text messages to family, friends, everybody, that the baby, he was going to come. And so when the birth finally came, me and her mom, we were in the delivery room with her. I saw her give birth to my son with her and her mom. We were the only three in the room. Ex-mother-in-law held him for the first time. She was the first one to hold him, and then it was me, and then it was her, the baby's mother. Now, I want to include that very much because I saw a human take their first breath of air. Not just any human, but my son. My son who means everything to me. I would do anything for. And it was such an amazing experience. Because at the time, I thought, wow, like, I'm his father. I'm going to give him everything I didn't have. I'm going to sacrifice so much to make sure he has the best life that I could possibly give him. That's it. The birth. Our stay, we had took professional pictures. I have professional pictures with him. I'll be posting one. I think the first couple of people that went was my family, my best friend, who was the godmother. It was her ex-best friend was the godmother as well. My family, her family. It was cool. It was cool because when you celebrate a baby's life, everybody comes together and it's like, wow, like this new life, this new part of us, this new part of like a family, like two whole different families, but not only that, but your own family. Like, this is who I'm gonna protect for the rest of my life. It was cool, Now, after the birth, I want to say that me and my baby's mother, departed from each other, and not gonna lie, I see that a lot. After you give birth, you kind of depart from each other in a way, and if not, then that's cool for you. So I want to say within like maybe after 4 months, we kind of just started not focusing on each other and more focusing on the baby. And not only that, like, we already sensed that us both were just not feeling it for each other anymore. And so it was just more of a like, yeah, I have love for you. I love you. But I'm not in love with you, Not only that, but once you get comfortable with someone, you don't want things to change. Whether or not you're in love with that person or not, you get so used to a routine with that person that, like, once it snaps you out of it, or once someone leaves from that, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, it's weird. Come back. Even if there's no love, just come back. It was like we were around that phase. Now, so around, I want to say, August, things had got to get really bad. We were just arguing a lot. There was too many fights. And I was sick of it. I was sick of it because now all my focus was on my baby. I don't care if I'm with his mother. Doesn't concern me at all anymore because I just want to work on myself. Whether that's to get a better job, go to school, I didn't care. I just wanted to do whatever I could to give him a life that I could never get, or a life that I didn't get, So that was the least of my problems. But at the same time, it was like, okay, then if we're not going to be together, let's not be together. But let's not disrespect each other, lie to each other, do all this unnecessary shit when you could literally just break up and we could still co-parent. I didn't see what the problem was in just co-parenting. But I got sick of it. And not only that, I noticed that we didn't make each other happy anymore. Like, I wasn't happy, and I know she wasn't happy, and I was totally cool with that. The relationship was no longer my priority anymore. It was just him. Just him. And work. So I told her, like, hey, shit isn't going to work with us arguing this much, with us having so many problems like this. So I told her, I was like, if you want to call it quits, by all means, let's call it quits. But I am not going to be in this relationship if it does not make me happy. And if I know in my heart it doesn't make you happy. And that's cool. We weren't forced to be together for a child. There are so many people who are able to co-parent and not be together. And I honestly didn't see why we couldn't be like that. So I told her, that if you want to make it work, let's make it work. If you don't, then let's call it right now. She said she wanted to make it work, and I was, all right, cool, let's make it work. But it was at the point where she was very disrespectful and just picking at things, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on with her, to be honest. I would barely see her anyways. I would work in the morning, come for like, I want to say 2-3 hours, chill with her for 2-3 hours, and then she'd leave for work, and I'd just be with my son. And by the time she got there, either me or him were knocked out, or he was already knocked out, and I'd knock out because I had to get up early, and that was it. That was our daily routine. We weren't talking anymore. We weren't telling each other how our day went. None of that, and that was cool. Hey, shit happens. Things change. All right, cool. Move on. September came, and I broke up with her. I sat her down, and I told her, you know what? This isn't working out. I'm not happy. You're not happy. I don't want to do this anymore, to be honest. Let's just co-parent. Let's make it work for him. And at that time, I was living with her. I was living with her and her mom and my baby. Now, I want to say 2 weeks, or maybe even, 2 weeks after I broke up with her, I started finding out a lot of stuff about her while being with me. Now, one, she was with someone while being with me. She was cheating on me. She was in a whole ass other relationship while being with me, and that honestly explains a lot, and that's cool, but you could have came to me as an adult that you are and told me that you were seeing someone and broke up with me. I would have respected you way more if you would have just done that, because you wasted so much of my time. Now, that, and then I find out that she did get knocked up by someone. Now, before I get into that, everything that I found out after our breakup, I want to say within September to October, all I reacted with was just me being depressed. Never once yelled at her, called her out of her name, maybe called her devil, because I honestly feel like she is. I wasn't pissed. I didn't cuss her out. I wasn't trying to fight the baby daddy. No, nothing. I just cried. That was it. I was more hurt for other reasons, which I'll explain. Now, I had found out that she was seeing the guy who knocked her up. Now, I say guy who knocked her up because as far as I knew, he wanted no part in my son's life when he found out that she was pregnant. I'm not going to sit here and say that's 100% true, but that's as far as I know or knew. Now, after I found out all that, I would throw little hints at her. And there was times where I'd ask her, are you seeing anybody? Even if we were broken up, I would ask her, because she would ask me. She would get pissed if I was smiling at my phone. She would get pissed if I was on my phone. If I went out with some friends, some coworkers, whatever. She didn't want me seeing anybody. When she found out that I was going on a date, she blew up. She cussed me out. She was calling the girl who I was going to go out with names at me. She was acting ridiculous, honestly. And this was already after I had found out that she was cheating on me and being in a whole ass other relationship. I didn't react the way you guys would probably react or the way you would think I reacted. No, I didn't, because honestly, it wasn't worth my time. You already did what you did. Congratulations. I don't know if that makes you feel better about yourself, being in two relationships and trying to drag them both along. Congratulations. For real, congratulations. If you sleep better at night knowing that, by all means, I applaud you. Now, I want to say 3 weeks after our breakup, she pulls me outside of her apartment and she tells me she needs to come clean about something because it's eating her up. And I told her, all right, cool. You know, you're finally going to be straight up. Lay it out on the ground. She tells me during our break, she did get knocked up by someone. And that someone came back about 2 or 3 months prior to our breakup. Now, she didn't have the balls to tell me that she had got knocked up by someone because she knew in her heart I would not have stayed. I would have not stayed. I would have not wasted my time, my family's time, my emotions, my love. None of it. Who would? In reality, who would really stay knowing your girl got knocked up by someone else but still wants to be with you and have you raise someone else's son? Because as far as I knew, the other guy didn't have the balls to do that. Who would? Now, when she had told me that, I just bawled. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking broke down. That broke my heart. Because as far as I knew, I was his father. That's it. No questions asked. I was there. I loved him. I was still gonna be there. She knew that. I don't even give a fuck that I wasn't biologically his father. But I still wanted to be his father. Now, she had told me that he had found her at her job and told her that he wanted to be a part of his son's life. Cool. I was fine with that. Why take that away? But in reality, I was pissed about it because who the fuck is he to claim that he wanted to be in his son's life? Honestly, you weren't there. Now, my son currently has my last name. I'm on his birth certificate. I still have rights. You let me put my last name on my child. 2, you let me sign the birth certificate knowing he wasn't mine. Knowing you had a baby daddy out there that maybe might have wanted to come back in his life. And then she tells me I'm gonna let him see him. She told me that night. I'm gonna start letting him see him. And I was like, alright, cool. Who's gonna see him more? How are the visitations gonna work? I didn't give a fuck that he was gonna see him. I just wanted to still be in his life. I don't care how it was. I was willing to make things work between them two to be able to see my kid. I don't even care how crazy that sounds. A lot of people would have just walked away from that, but I couldn't. I had invested so much of my love and emotions to this innocent baby who I completely changed for. I know how crazy the situation sounded. I didn't care. I don't care if you were cheating on me with someone else. I don't care if you were in a relationship with someone else while being with me. I didn't give a fuck anymore. I didn't give a fuck about you. I stopped giving a fuck about you the minute we broke up. All I cared about was seeing my son, seeing him smile, being with him, having his company. That's it. That's literally all I cared about. So she told me I was going to see him more because I was his father. She told me that. Word for word. You're going to see him more because you were there. You're his father. And I was like, okay. When he grows up, what are you going to tell him when he asks you, oh, mom, why do I have 2 dads? Because I asked her, I was like, oh, what are you going to tell him when he grows up? she's gonna say, oh, well, that you're his dad and that he's his dad. And I was like, okay, doesn't make sense, but okay, fuck it, there's a lot of things in this world that doesn't make sense, but somehow people make it work, and I was willing to make it work. Things have started to get really bad. We were fighting because she didn't want me seeing anybody, which honestly didn't make any sense, and I was honestly fed up with everything. I was still living with her for the fact that I wanted to be around my son. That was it. But the times that I was around her, I was on my phone, I was talking to people, and she honestly had a problem. And I started going out. And she was seeing that she had a problem. She would always fight me about it. She would throw little hints, throw little faces. Oh, if I wanted you, I could have you. Oh, I know you still find me pretty. Fuck that bitch. Stuff like that. I would just throw it aside. Honestly, you gotta be really fucked up to act like that while you were in a whole ass relationship while being with me, and I didn't even react that way. Now, I stopped sleeping at her mom's house, and I guess that started hitting a nerve. We had made an agreement when I took out all my shit. We had made an agreement, we both signed, I will definitely enter that. And then, I want to say 2 weeks, she kept that. Or let me backtrack a little. During those 2 weeks that we had made the agreement, I would still get out of work and I would still chill with her while she got ready for work while being with my son. She would always leave early for work. She would, let's say her schedule was from 5 to 10. She'd leave like at 2. Now, I would work from like 4 to 12, whatever. And I'd be like, why are you leaving so early to work, Oh, because so I can make more hours. Her paychecks didn't show that she was making more money, to be honest. But that's cool, if you want to chill or do your shit before you go to work, that's cool, by all means, go for it. I was happy because I was able to have more time with my son. That's all I cared about. And this went on for about, I want to say 2 weeks. I was with him more than she was. I have so many people who can actually sit down, be with me on this camera, and say, yo, I was with you this day, and I saw him as much as you saw him. And it amazes me. Because after those 2 weeks, I picked up my son, and I had a hickey on my neck. It was no one's business who I'm sleeping with, who I'm not sleeping with. None of my business who she's sleeping with. No one's. We're not together anymore. Why the fuck does it concern you? Now, it hit a nerve because she was so pissed off at me when I picked up my son that day that she was just acting like a bitch, to be honest. Now, the night that I dropped him off, he had bumped his head, and I tried explaining to her what had happened, and he was in the car seat right here. She literally just snatched him, and she put him in their car. Now, if I'm trying to explain to you what happened as to why he has a little bump on his head, don't you think you'd want to know instead of being pissed off at me for something that really doesn't fucking concern you? Doesn't his health come first? Because in reality, you didn't even ask me, or you didn't even let me finish what I was saying as to his head. That was it. That was all I was telling you. And then I got in my car because I was like, all right, I'm not going to deal with you right now because you're honestly being fucking immature and you can't even talk to me as civil people. And then she turns to me and she's like, you're not picking them up no more. What? Like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what the fuck did I do that has you so pissed off that you want to take him away from me? Because in reality, if you really think about it, I was fucking there more than you were towards the end. Now, Max, she could throw at me, and I'm gonna be brutally honest because I don't mind throwing in my wrongs. I probably fed him at night, probably I want to say max 10 times out of the whole time he was born. Now, she knew that I would get up 3 in the morning to go to work at 4. My schedule hadn't changed till maybe he was about 7 months. Now, I asked her, it's cool. Let me feed him while I'm sleeping. It's cool. We'll take turns. There was a few times where she did try to wake me up and I didn't wake up. And I'm going to say that, I didn't wake up. There were times where I did feed him before I went to work. What else? She claimed that I would hold his head while eating so that he wouldn't turn. Now, I agree with her as to why she got pissed off at me, because babies are gonna turn their head no matter what while they're eating, and I shouldn't have held his head. But I did that because I was more focused on him making sure that he ate the amount he was supposed to eat and not miss out on it, because there was so many times where we had to throw away almost more than half the bottle of him not eating it. Another thing, she hated the way that I would say, or I would talk to him when he would cry. Now, I would talk to him as in the sense of like, why are you crying? That was basically it that she got pissed off at. When I would say, why are you crying? I didn't mean it as I knew I was going to get a response back. And plus the max times that I would say, why are you crying? The majority of the times that I would say, why are you crying? I would pick him up. And it was literally me talking to him, asking him. I knew I wasn't going to get a response back, and she literally believed that I was trying to get a response back. No, I'm not fucking stupid. I raised so many of my siblings. I'm not stupid. That's it. Now, towards like the end of me being able to see my son, I was with him more than she was. I was completely okay with that. I have told her to her face that I was way more with him than she was. She got all pissed off. Oh, well, then you won't see him that much anymore. It wasn't that. I just wanted to let you know. Now, when she finally took him away from me, I had tried hitting her up. Let me see him, whatever. I'll throw in some receipts I have, because like after our breakup, I deleted all our messages, which I know I shouldn't have now. But I'll throw in some stuff, little stuff that I still have. Now, it's been about 2 months since I've seen my son. I'll never know why she took him away. The last time I saw her, she cussed me out for even looking at him. She caused a scene at a store just for me even looking at my son, who I was there for. No one else. Now, we haven't been in contact. She served me court papers at work to get my last name removed from him. That's fine. If you want to go that road, that is perfectly okay. Now, I'm not going to try to fight her with anything. I have some screenshots of when I did tell her that I was going to get a lawyer, because I do have rights. As a father on the birth certificate, I do have rights. Now, I'm going to show you guys here what she said as to me telling her I'm going to take her to court for him. And it amazes me, because she really has no reason, besides the fact that he's not biologically my son, to take him away from me. None whatsoever. I would rather be with him, would have rather been with him than anywhere else. Anywhere else. I would have taken being with him than anything else. Seeing him smile, seeing him laugh, play with him talk. Nothing is better than that. Nothing whatsoever. Now, now that she has taken him away, that's cool for her. Let me tell you how much it's changed me. Because this isn't an easy topic to talk about. A lot of people in my life know how much this affects me, because I have never loved someone the way I love him. For someone to just take him away from me and not tell me why or give me an explanation. I cannot talk about him without crying. I cannot. There isn't a day where I don't think about him. There isn't a day where someone, whether it's at work or home or a stranger on my socials, ask me about him. There is not a day where I don't look at his pictures. There is not a day where I don't look at the memories I have with him, because I have a lot. I had the last couple of weeks that I was with him, I took him to see my dad. And let me remind you, my dad wasn't open to me having a family so quick, but he came around and he wanted to be around my son. He wanted to be a part of my family. And so it was such a life-changing experience, going to each and every one of my family members and friends and telling them and looking them in the eye and telling them that I no longer have a son. And that's something that she'll probably never think about or ever have to do. I literally had to go to my mom, who she loved my son. Everyone in my family loved my son as their own family. My best friend loved him like her own. She did way more for him than anyone else on my side. And I had to go to each and every one of my family members and friends and look them in the eye and tell them, you know what, this and this happened. I'm sorry he's not going to be a part of our lives. And there is many people that I told that cried with me. There are many people who were pissed off way more than I ever was. People who saw my heart break and I had to break theirs. But every single person told me, then why drag you along and your family? Why do all this? Why do all this and drag someone along and their family and friends if you knew you were going to take the baby away, or you knew you had a baby father who was one day probably going to come back in your life? I can't walk into the baby's boys apartment at all. It makes me feel like the first day I knew that I wasn't going to see him again, because we had spent so much time there choosing his clothes, buying him new clothes, excited for the holidays, and it just it's not going to happen again. Now, this isn't for sympathy. I don't want any. I got way more sympathy than I needed. This is literally to tell my story, because I have never met someone so evil. That's as far as I can say. I don't know who would actually drag one individual, their whole family and friends, to be involved in this precious life for you to just take him away from everybody. Now, she'd probably sit here and say, that's my kid, I can do whatever the fuck I want. By all means, you are right. You are his mother, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But how can you sleep at night? I honestly, it amazes me If you didn't love me, if you didn't want me to be part of his life, you should have told me you got knocked up by some random guy. That's it. That's literally it. You could have saved me and my family, who invested so much, and I'm not talking about money, in him. And none of them regret it. I don't regret the time that I spent with him. By all means, if I could get a day with him, I would take it without hesitation. Now, there are so many people, and I am blessed with so many people who ask me how I am on a daily, because they know how much trauma I have of this. Because this isn't easy, or it isn't something easy for me to cope with. Because I, in my heart, literally thought, wow, I have a kid who is going to depend on me for the rest of their life. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to give them that life. Now, I have nothing to say to my baby's father. My baby's father. If that makes sense. Which in reality it shouldn't. Or it doesn't make sense, because wow, you see this in a fucking movie. Nothing whatsoever. If anything, my son's father, I wish you breath. I wish you don't die anytime soon. I'm actually jealous that you get to have him when you didn't. You weren't there. I wish you nothing. Nothing whatsoever. The mother, nothing to tell you. Nothing whatsoever. But you're an evil person in reality. I wish you no harm. None whatsoever. Because karma will get you. I'm gonna let karma do its thing. I'm gonna let God handle everything. Now, I don't want any hate thrown towards her, thrown towards the guy. None. What happened. This is my way of letting go already. Because, damn, well, whenever I talk about it to someone, they're just in shock. They're speechless. They're like, what the fuck? Like, wait, what? Yeah, this really did fucking happen to me. I had a son who I fucking love with all my heart, and now I don't, because I got him taken away for shit I wish I knew. Now, to my son, because in my heart you will always be my son, because in my heart you will always be there. I saw you take your first breath of air, and it was the most amazing thing ever. I changed my life around for you. I have this whole other mindset on life and on love and just in general, just not taking life for granted. Whether I have you or not, I will always know who you are to me, but you will never know who I was to you. And that hurts to say. Because maybe in the future you will see this video, or maybe I'll send it to you one way or another when you're way older. But you help me change in ways that I will never be able to explain. And it sucks because the last time I saw you, you were a baby and you were already talking. You had your first 2 teeth. You were doing so much. And it sucks that I won't be able to see But I hope when you see this video, or if it ever comes across you when you're 18 or whatever, someone was your father before yours was. Someone loved you with unconditional love, and that'll never change. Now, your mother did things the way she wanted to do, and that is totally okay. No harm, nothing. I have nothing bad to say about her, but the fact that she's evil, and that's it. This is to just, because I know that she'll never tell you who I was, I'm gonna tell you who I was, and let me tell you how much I fucking love being with you, and I would take being with you than anything. Now, to just end this video already, I beg everybody, whoever sees this video, be careful, be careful, be careful. Pay attention to all the red flags. You could save yourself so much pain. So much. If you pay attention to the red flags, pay attention to what your mother tells you, pay attention to what your family tells you about this person, pay attention to what your friends tell you about the person you're seeing, because it'll save you so much in the end. That's it. That's literally my story. That's what happened. That's what went down. That's why I no longer have a son. And I can't even give you a logical reason besides the fact that she just pulled him out of my life. Be careful who you open yourself up to. Doesn't matter the history. Doesn't matter whether they were there for you or not. It does not matter. Be really careful and take your time getting to know someone. That's all I'm gonna say, because never would I thought this would have happened to me. But that's all I'm gonna say. Be careful who you let in, because you never know. You could be sleeping with the devil.